Hey, what's up? It's Rick Dees. And the day my life got organized is the day I met Dr. J. Lamar Gray. Wait a minute, stop everything. He's number one.
Hello, everybody. The doctor is in. It is time to say, give it to me straight, doctor. I can take it. Dr. J is in his house of podcasts again, and this is a very special segment because I am here with a very special friend of mine. She is Lori Alvarez. She's real estate extraordinaire, and she is an amazing person. And we are going to reintroduce her to the real estate, my new audience here on YouTube and across TikTok, places like that. And I don't like real estate people as a rule because they always trying to sell you property like they trying to sell you like a can of beans. Like, oh, sure, you got money to buy a house. Why wouldn't you have like they're trying to sell a car? And they put their faces on billboards and bus stops. And it's just like, well, your face ain't going to sell me. I mean, I've never seen Halle Berry look-alike or Brad Pitt on a real estate billboard. Like, oh, your face is going to sell me real estate. But Lori Alvarez could put her face on any billboard or any bus stop because she's absolutely beautiful and she's amazing. And Lori, so you're the one real estate person I trust and I would ever do business with. Dr. J approves. So Lori Alvarez, reintroduce yourself to Dr. J's audience.
Oh, Dr. J, you are so fun, and I'm so grateful for you. And putting my face on billboards, I haven't done that yet.
You haven't?
I haven't done that, but I have my face on my signs. And yeah, we're out there. We're helping families move all the time. We're over in Old Town Laverne, and I have my very own real estate brokerage right here on Bonita. I've been in business for 22 years. I've serviced over 700 plus families, and I just love what I do. I'm super grateful to do it as well.
Now, you said you've been in the business for like, what, 20 years, you say?
22 plus, yeah.
Now, when you initially got into real estate, was it like, I'm just going to make a little money, or do you just have a passion for real estate?
To be completely transparent, when I got in the real estate market, I got in the year before the year it started crashing. And so when I got in, I was just like, oh, I was a young mom at that time.
Mhm.
I had a couple of kids at home, and I would like to say I was the typical woman getting into the business. Like, oh, I'm gonna help a family make a move and find the right house. And as every transaction landed on top of the next one and the next one and the next one,
Mhm.
and they all layered together, and how I saw my career as a more of a ministry rather than a career.
Really?
I just went from there, and I'm so grateful for what it's become and where I've taken it. I did say at one time I'm gonna open my own real estate brokerage. And of course, I did that 20 years later. Now been in business in my own brokerage for the last 4 years now. And of course, it was when interest rates shot up and the
Mhm.
market started going soft. So there's been nothing easy about it. I get into real estate always when it's really challenging.
So has there ever been a time, because of course you get the quick buck artists out there to say, whoa, I'm gonna get my real estate license and sell it on the side and I'll make all this money.
Yeah.
I mean, when you first started, was there times where you said, oh, I don't know if this is right for me? I hear the post office is hiring. I mean, do you ever go through that?
I think since I've opened the brokerage, I have those moments now since opening the brokerage,
Oh,
because
really?
that is a little more challenging just because there's a higher cost related to it because I have a brick and mortar location. I'm not one of those virtual offices that you can't visit, right?
Your living room, basically. I sell real estate from my living room.
I have an actual brick and mortar office. You can come here. You've been here before, Dr. J.
Yes.
I show up to it every day, and I show families homes. I sell homes out of here. And so every once in a while, my brain does say, "Oof, this is hard work. Maybe I should just go back to just being an agent."
Hmm.
But I couldn't give it up. I love it so much, and it's worth it. I see God working through the ministry, so it's all good. I trust him.
Praise the Lord.
Yeah,
So tell us, it's just not you. Like people, it's a family operation. Tell us about your
correct.
team,
Yeah.
your family.
Yeah. Yeah. So the reality is when I first started 22 years ago, it was just me. And I just started getting super busy. And so during that time, I had my sister who's about 10 years younger than me. She's much cuter than me.
I find that hard to believe.
She's super sweet. And so I reached out to her and I said, would you like to be in the real estate business with me? And she was like, what the heck? She was a dental assistant at that time. And I said, yeah, why don't you come help me? I keep double booking myself and having challenges with my calendar. And I really would like to be able to see my family because I am married and have, 4 sons.
Hmm.
I said, so I still want to have a life. And so she said, yeah, let me try it out. She fell in love with it. So she's been working with me for about 17 years. She's exclusively my buyer's agent. And then my son, my oldest son, of course, he's been working with me since he was probably 14, but he
Uh-huh.
got his real estate license when he was 18.
Wow.
And now he manages the brokerage. The real reason why we opened the brokerage was so that he could really open his path of opportunity for having great agents come work for us and him have the opportunity to coach those agents to have all the successes that I've had because he's watched me grow and grow and grow
Uh-huh.
and he's seen how I've done it and we just want to share that information with other great agents out there. So my oldest son is now almost 30. He's
Hmm.
been working with me since he was 18. I give him a 401k now. I mean, I'm
Wow.
like, I feel like such an adult.
Wow.
And and he has a weekly paycheck.
Wow.
And he shows up here every day and he's raising his family and he's doing his thing here and we have a couple. I had some of my other 3 sons all worked for me at some point, but they've all went off to do what they want to do,
Uh-huh.
whereas my oldest son, his whole heart and passion is to building our real estate brand, Real Estate Resolved. He's
Now
very
the
excited
now
about that.
did the others cut out because they're like, oh, I see the struggle. I see the struggle, mom. Boy, you take the struggle out on me sometimes, so I'm not doing this. Was
you
it that?
know No, no. Actually, they all had hearts to do something else,
Okay.
right? So that was one of them is a hairstylist, and the other one wanted to be in the automotive industry, and the other one who you've met numerous times because he was my social media and podcasting guy.
Uh-huh.
He went on to do warehouse work. I do have a full-time social media person as well. So she manages all the social media and she's over in Texas.
Hmm.
And then we have a transaction coordinator and I have my team. It's not just me, so I can't take all the credit even though I would love to.
Now, Lori's being very humble here. Okay, because I seen what she drive. So you've done very well for yourself. So what is the secret to doing well for yourself? I mean, not that you have to give away your secret sauce or anything, but is it
Oh,
really
I'd be
just,
glad to.
is it the passion of it all? I mean, or is it just, because it's obviously more than making money, right? Because you could
Right.
do a lot of
Yeah.
things and make more money. So
Yeah.
what is it
Yeah,
that
for sure in this
drives you,
business.
right?
Because really the IRS just takes so
Yes, absolutely.
I would say for me personally, what really drives me is I have these families who come to me. Like last night, I sat with a family, and it's a family that 6 years ago they met us at an open house and they were excited and they bought their first house with us. And here we are 6 years later, they call us and they're like, we're divorced. We need you to come and we need your counsel. It wasn't
Really?
about we need you to sell our house. We need your counsel. We need to know what we should do with this house.
Oh.
And we just sat down and we had a great heart to heart, the three of us, the husband and wife, and we just talked about what was the best strategic next move for their family financially, emotionally, spiritually.
Mhm.
And there was tears involved, and it was tough, but I believe that the success of my business is because when I sit down with you, I'm not there to sell a house to you or sell your house. I am there to counsel you and work with you through what makes best sense for your family and your original circumstance.
Now, excuse Dr. J for being flippant here and being silly, but
Yeah. Yeah, we love
if
when you're silly. It's fun.
thank you. If you had done all that and they said, you know what, Lori, it's cheaper just to keep the house and you saved our marriage, would you have been like, ah, damn, I lost the sale. I done talked them out of this sale.
That's
Because you
that
make
is
money
what
if they
my
split.
that is what my husband says every time I go out. He's all, "You didn't talk them out of selling their house, did you?"
You didn't save their marriage, did you? God forbid.
I unfortunately, I'm not here to save marriages. I'm here to work with your assets.
Okay. Okay.
And I obviously I would love to save a marriage, but no, we are selling that house. That after the conversation and we took every aspect under consideration. The decision was made that the property will be sold. So it will come on the market in a few weeks. Um, but it that is exactly every single time. And yes, to answer your question, I had a young family that bought a house from me 22 years ago, my first year in real estate. They bought that house. 2 years later, they wanted me to come over. I drove all the way to Ukaipa, sat down with them, and they were like, "We want to sell the house." And I
Oh.
should have had a better qualifying conversation before I drove all the way to Ukaipa, but that's okay. I wanted to see him anyways. And I got out there and I just told them, I said, "Guys, do not sell this house. It is too soon. You're
Hmm.
gonna take a financial loss." And I drove all the way home from Ukaipa with not selling that house. And I sold that house 15 years later and helped them buy another house and helped them do another thing. Like that is, yes, how it works out sometimes.
Building
Sometimes we
relationships.
yeah, that's what it is. I believe 100% every person that comes in to contact with me has come into contact with me because at some point they're going to need what I do really well, right?
Yes.
Which is help advise you on what is best to do with your real estate.
Now, Lori, we're talking that Lori Alvarez, real estate guru extraordinaire. And I recently took a financial class at a
Ooh,
church.
yeah, I love it.
And one of the things the guy was saying was that,
Yeah,
everybody wants to be a millionaire. He said
yeah,
the fastest, most secure way to become a millionaire is paying off your house.
yeah.
Is that true? I mean, just paying off your house, it makes sense to me. You won't have $1
Yeah.
million in the bank, but you'll be worth $1 million if your house is worth $1 million. Do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, you can as long as your house is worth $1 million, but you've got to remember that the market goes up and down, right? The
Uh-huh.
market goes up and down. And so your house could, for example, my house 3 years ago, my house was worth 1.1, but today, because the interest rates have inflated so much and the economy is softening right now, my
Mm-hmm.
house is probably worth around 950.
Okay.
So you've got to pay attention to that as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your house is a forced savings account. It doesn't
Yes.
necessarily mean you have money in the bank, though,
Yes.
right? So you have to be smart about that.
Well, back in my day, when I was a young, stupid kid, I believed that, oh, yeah, I just wanted like 5 houses that were, I want a $20 million house like MC Hammer. And I worked in show business. So it was possible. Anything could have happened, but it didn't. But now I'm at an age where it's like, even if I won or made a lot of money doing this show, my first priority would be paying off my house and not
Yeah.
selling it, just
Yeah.
staying in the house, remodeling it, putting extra stuff in it, building an extra room or doing something
Yeah.
to it. Because at my age, I'm like, well, hell, why don't I just stay here? Because then all I have
Yeah.
to pay is property tax and I'll actually own the house. So
Right.
that's makes good sense, but you can't really tell people who are 25 or 30 that, right?
No, and that's the thing that people say all the time is, oh, well, I don't want to buy a house now because the interest rates are so high and it's so unaffordable and all of that. And I agree with you. If it doesn't make financial sense for yourself, then you shouldn't buy a house. Not everyone is meant to have a home,
Yeah.
but the people who are gifted a home, have that home, have worked hard and made that investment. They need to be wise stewards of their money and the way they're handling that home, because the reality is homeownership is expensive.
Yes.
When something breaks, you're gonna have to take care of it, right?
Yeah. No calling Mr.
So
Furley or Mr. Roper to
right.
fix your
Yeah.
plumbing and the air conditioning go out. We had our air conditioning go out about 2 years ago, and it's like that was a huge expense to replace it.
Yes.
And I was like, well, let me just get some couple of fans around here. How much can a couple of fans cost? My wife was like, no, we are going to fix this. And I'm glad we did, because especially as hot as it's been lately, you can't have enough fans to do that, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
it is expensive, but I think it's ultimately worth it, especially, and I'm
It
looking
is.
forward to staying where I am. Because
Yeah.
you see people all the time selling the house, then they go buy another house. It's like,
Yeah.
well, then they got to refinance again, which now, being my older self, say that is not wise. That is not wise to do that,
No.
especially if you have a
Yeah.
nice house.
Yeah, if you go to one of my episodes on my podcast, I talk about the home that we're currently living in right now. And when we bought it when it was the top of the market, right? We bought it for like 650,000. And then the market fell out below us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Below, right, like 1 year after that. And when we bought it, our interest rate was like 6.5%. And the market fell out. And then our house immediately went from being worth 650 to 325.
Yikes.
And it took about 4 years, but I watched the market closely. Obviously, I was in the business at that time, and I watched the market closely, and I waited until I had 20% interest, 20% equity again. And at that time, Dr. J, interest rates had then dropped to 2.5%. And
Mm-hmm.
so as soon as I hit that 20% equity marker, I called my lender and I said, all right, refinance me into a 15-year loan at
Uh-huh.
2.5%. And that's been my godsend that I did that, because I immediately took 7 years off my loan, a ton of money off my loan, and now my house is almost paid for. And
Wow,
that
I didn't
is
know
the
about that.
reason.
You can do that.
Yeah.
That's what you need to do. Refinance not when you need some money and go to Vegas or start a business, but refinance when the interest rates go down.
Yeah, you pay attention to that. But see, exactly what you said, Dr. J, is so many people go in and do that refinance, but they add years to their loan. I
Yeah.
was in a 27-year loan by the time that I had done that. And so I instead refinanced into a 15-year loan, and I still had the same payment. And I was already making that
Wow.
payment. So why not do that, right?
Yes.
And that's been my godsend, because right now I think we have maybe 7 years left on our loan.
Uh-huh.
And it's the reason why I don't have that big 2 million, 3 million, $4 million house, because my husband's like, heck no, we ain't paying those property taxes. Just go find another rental property.
Yeah.
So I buy rentals instead.
Yeah. Absolutely smart. Okay. You said we can talk about anything. You see it on the news all the time, and I totally hate this. There was an episode of Law and Order SVU, SUV, SVU,
Yeah.
Special Victims Unit. I was
Yeah.
getting confused. Where a man's property, someone brought a house off, they got the pink
Yeah.
slip for it, and
Yeah.
some nefarious individual goes to the county office, gives a fake ID, and claim that they're the owner of the house. And you hear these stories about people getting their houses stole from under them, without any
Yes.
recourse. I mean, that speak to how that. What should you do after that? Because that seems like as long as the bank or somebody else owns your house, that's not going to happen. But
Right,
as long
right.
as but once you pay it off and your name's on the promissory note, that could happen, which boggles the mind that somebody could walk in a county's office, give your
Yeah.
name, and just take your house from under you, and then you legally have to move out.
Yeah. Yeah. The
How does
the
it happen?
reality the reality is it is a simple process to transfer a property to another person, especially when there's no liens on title or anything like that. That means
Uh-huh.
there's no loan, right? It's very easy to walk in and with all the right documentation and the right notary, you can transfer your property. Now, they are doing their best. Title companies are doing their best to help against this fraud. And so what they do is they do send out a notification to the previous owner
Uh-huh.
saying, "Hey, by the way, you have requested to transfer your property to someone else. If you didn't make this request, please contact us."
Absolutely.
So
Okay.
they do, title companies do now, because the title companies, when you have title insurance, they do send out a notification. So, but the problem is most people, when they receive that notification, don't read it, don't understand it, and just like before they know it, their property has been relocated,
And I
not
don't
physically, but but title.
I don't advocate murder, but I can imagine why in that episode of SVU somebody did kill. It was Law and Order. It wasn't SVU. It was this.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was original Law and Order. Now that I think about it, and
I'm
the
a
guy
big
ended
fan
up
of Law and Order.
the other guy ended up killing the guy, and I'm like, well, almost that is the feeling. If you paid off a house all your life and somebody did this, it's like when they moved
Yeah,
in. Oh, I'm gunning for you.
yeah,
For you, buddy. You sit
yeah,
there and stole
yeah.
the house from me. And I don't think there's a this guy went to jail, but in the episode, but I find it hard if I was on a jury to sit there and say this person's guilty of murder after this person stole their house. That'd be
Right,
crazy. So
right.
how about putting the house in a trust after you pay it off? Is that a good way to protect it?
Oh, I'd put your house here in California, I'd put your house in a trust as soon as possible, just because if you were to pass away unexpectedly while you own a home, your property will end up in probate.
Now you talking while
So,
you have a loan or when you pay it off?
yeah,
Or just
either
now?
way, as soon as possible.
Really?
Yes, put your house in a trust. Yeah, 100%.
Oh, wow. I thought so. You can do it right now while the bank still
Yes, you
owns it.
can. Yes, you
Okay.
can.
That's good
Yes, you
stuff,
can.
Lori. That's good
You
stuff.
just you go to an attorney. Obviously, you need to talk with a tax attorney and all the implications that are related to it, because I'm not supposed to advise you on that.
Mm-hmm.
However, if you were to pass away, Dr. J, and your house is not in a trust, it will go to your wife,
Mm-hmm.
depending on how you guys have taken title,
Why I gotta
right?
go? Why she can't go? You don't target me. Okay.
Because I like her a lot. I
Okay.
love you too, Dr. J.
But if I go the way of the dodo and you want her, it
Yes.
goes to her.
It'll go to her, however, she'll have to battle some probate,
Uh-huh.
which probate is expensive and timely here in California. It takes
Mm-hmm.
about 6 months to 9 months, and it's about 6% of your estate,
Mm-hmm.
between 5 and 6% of what your total estate is worth.
Mm-hmm.
So it's no fun. But if you get yourself a good trust and it's recorded correctly and the house is in the trust, a lot of people go out and get a trust, but they don't record the house in the trust.
Ah.
And then, so I had a family that happened. They had the trust, they thought it was good. Mom died, they got everything. And then we go to sell the house, and then the house wasn't in the trust. Everything
Ah.
had been recorded in the house, in the trust, except for Mom's house.
Okay.
So we had to have it assigned to the trust, and then we were able to sell it to avoid going through probate.
Ah. Okay.
So here in California, you want to trust. And yes, you can do it when you have a loan.
So the other option, and I'm not saying this, but I don't think he'll say it either. But the other option is if the person dies whose house is in the name, don't let nobody know and just keep paying the mortgage, right?
Yeah, I won't tell you how many families I know have done that. I won't tell you.
We don't tell nobody they did, but we just gonna keep paying the mortgage until it's paid off, and then we'll do something later, right?
They'll deal with it at that time. Yes, I know of a few families that have attempted that.
Lori, I could talk to you forever, but we can't. But
Right.
but one more question.
Yes.
Obviously, we're from a different generation, Generation X, the greatest
Yeah.
generation of all time. And, we come from our parents that work hard, get a family, jobs were flowing, education meant something. Now you have another generation of kids who are living at home with their parents, and they're not
Mm.
buying homes like they used to. How is that going to affect your business model? Do you have to go to lease? I mean, do you see? I know all kind of stories of people who have raised their kids in a $3 million home. It's paid off. Their kids have moved out, and they are just ready to downgrade. So,
Yeah.
what's your 10-year plan for that?
That's
I
a
mean, are
very
you looking down the road about that and saying, man, these youngsters ain't
yeah.
gonna have the job, the credit, and the finance to buy houses? Where does that put you?
Yeah, I've looked at this a lot because I'm always looking, especially with AI coming into the industry as well. And I don't know if you just recently heard about Amazon is now going to have like a whole car
Yes.
buying. Yeah,
Yes.
right. So I was like, oh my gosh, could Amazon do the same thing with real estate, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've done a lot of research on it. And yes, the real estate market will continually change. And you are correct, these young families are having a hard time affording a home. And it's still possible. It is still very possible. There are many ways to do it. But I have found right now the solution has been moms and dads have been buying the properties and the kids have just been renting. And they've been putting these properties in trusts, and then these properties just pass down to the generations below them. But a lot of young families are leaving California because
Yes.
we're so expensive. And I mean, that is the number one. I was just in Miami for the National Association of Real Estate Editors conference, and that was the number one conversation we had was the fact that just to qualify for a home today, you have to make a minimum here in California, you have to make a minimum of about 130,000, 140,000 to get into that entrance home
Uh-huh.
near the LA County area, you
Wow.
know? And so it's taking 2 and 3 incomes to buy a house. And yes, you can still do it because I just helped a young lady buy her first house with 5% down,
Mm-hmm.
and her
Really?
payment's like $6,500 a month.
Really?
Oof. Yeah,
Man, as long as she keep her job, everything be okay.
yeah. And
Until
her
you lose
boyfriend that bought with her.
until you lose your job, and then it's like, Lori, I lost my job. No problem. They're still building houses. There's plenty of houses out there. So do you think the real estate market will react to that? To be like, will they look at that eventually? Like, hey, people, we're not selling homes. Empty homes. I know there's a part where we live at up in the Claremont Hills.
Yeah,
Not saying that Dr. J lives in Claremont. In that area
yeah,
where that there are a lot of empty homes sitting out there, right?
yes,
Because they're not
yes,
selling. They're like $2-3 million homes. They're not selling. So
yeah.
is the market ever going to react to that? Or does it take the personal lenders and sellers to say, come down on the prices? I'm not going to get $3 million for this home. I'll take $1 million for this $3 million home. You think that'll ever be the case, or they'll just say no?
Yeah, we have so to answer your question specifically, here locally in Laverne, San Dimas, and Claremont, our real estate market now is at about 60 days on market, which means that we're about 2 months on market for a house to sell. That means we don't have enough inventory. That means if any other house were to come on the market, it would take 60 days to sell everything that we've got on the market. So for Laverne, San Dimas, and Glendora and Claremont, we are very much holding our pricing. We're coming down a little. We've corrected a little bit, But now if you shift to Upland or you shift to Rancho Cucamonga or you shift to Fontana, they've got 100 to 150 days on market, which means we're spending about 4 months on market now.
Mm-hmm.
That is now pushing into a buyer's real estate market, which now buyers have the buying power. They go in and they say, hey, Mr. Seller, I'm not paying $950 for your house. I'll give you $920, and I want you to give me $30,000 in closing costs.
Wow.
And Mr. Seller's saying, oh. So yes, we are seeing the market correct, and we're seeing the market come down. So the more inventory you see on the market and the more down arrows you start seeing on Zillow, that market is correcting. So yeah, we are going to see a correction. I don't think it's going to happen quick enough though.
Okay, one more question. Just one more question, Lori.
Yeah.
One more question and we'll close it out. There's some property in my area where you can actually buy a lot and build a home the way you want.
Yeah.
Is it cheaper to do that still, or is it the same? Or I know the question is, do you want the headache?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because when you build something from scratch, there's going to be something that went wrong and you got to deal with it. So is it cheaper to build your own home still, or no? What do you say? Yeah or nay?
No, not right now. It's cheaper to actually still buy resell. And you're going to see actually the Builders Association right now, Home Builders Association has been pushing their prices down a ton and offering special incentives at 3.99%, right?
Ooh.
And giving closing costs for new construction communities. So having them do that, then you try to go to a builder and say, hey, I bought this land, please build. One, you can't finance land. Two, now you got to build. Yeah. So it's a lot. It's a very costly process. But the beauty of it is you get exactly what you want, right?
Yeah. You hope to,
But
and
it
you
will
deal with a
cost you
bunch.
more.
Yeah. You deal with a bunch of, idiot contractors. You got to find the right one and do all this stuff and permits and everything. It could be a painful process if you don't have like a lot of money.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And you could spend your money incorrectly,
Yeah.
not even knowing you're doing it, because you get in business with people who you thought were great because they're nice.
Yeah.
And then they end up doing something that you're like, oh, how did that happen to me?
What?
So
Someone doing something crazy? Some corrupt person? How could that happen? What could go wrong? What could go wrong going into business with your family member?
I'm not going to say it's good or bad or cheaper or not, because I think it's just a matter of the decisions you make with your money.
Lori, I enjoyed talking to you. You mentioned your podcast. Give your podcast name, your company name, all your social media outlets.
Sure. I'm Lori Alvarez. You can find me on Spotify and where all podcasts are found. And that podcast is Real Estate with Soul. And then the company that I own and founded is Real Estate Resolved. And we're located right here in Old Town Laverne. And we service families about an hour away from our area. And of course, I'm on all the social media, Lori Alvarez, Real Estate Resolved. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, all of them, YouTube, all of them.
And right here with Dr. J, if you're listening, go follow her now. Subscribe to her YouTube channel. Follow her on TikTok and all the IG, all those places. Follow her because she's the most trusted real estate person in the world. I'm going to say it. Lori Alvarez, the most trusted, knowledgeable, experienced real estate person you'll ever come across. Give her your business. You're buying, you're selling, somebody died, you're getting divorced. She'll make sure you get divorced, or maybe she'll get married, whatever the case is. But she will go to your house and she will handle your business. So I hope that you definitely, if you're in the market, forget about the rest. Come to Lori Alvarez, Dr. J approved. Lori, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We got to do these
Dr.
again
J.
regularly again.
Yeah, I'm ready for it whenever you are.
All right.
Lori Alvarez. What's your monthly update? I got it for you.
Monthly update. We going to do it. All right, Lori, thank you for joining us. And I just have to say goodbye.
See you later.